Hey guys, in today's video we're going to be checking out the new Kidrobot Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. This is the medium-sized Devil Flanders vinyl figure. Now don't adjust your monitors, as the Flanders here is actually a lot bigger than the regular Treehouse of Horror Kidrobot Flanders. In fact, to prove that, the tape measure is telling us that Devil Flanders is 8.5 inches in height. Of course, he gets himself an accessory, one of which I've already got into his hand, and that is his pitchfork slash, I suppose, trident, and try not to drop Flanders in the process. The trident or pitchfork is pretty decent. One of the two big problems that I have with it, I guess both problems are connected to the same issue, is that he just doesn't hold it properly. It's broad enough, yes, down by the bottom of the handle, but try as I might to get it into his hand, as you probably already see with the Kidrobot figures, they have like that clamped hand. And we just fit that into his hand. Sometimes if you have a struggle getting it into his hand, you can put it at the more narrower part of the handle and then just slide it up. But as you can see, it doesn't really even sit in his hand. It sits really loose. And through the process of that, taking it out once again, I've left a little bit of paint on the inside hands taken from the pitchfork itself. As you can see, it's been rubbed off, or some of the yellow has rubbed off onto it. It's unfortunate that that be the case, because I wish that he would have been able to hold the pitchfork a little bit better. Ultimately, what I'm just going to end up having to do is put it in his hand and just kind of sit it, have it standing on itself, so that it will kind of help so it doesn't like flop around or fall out of his hand. Let's put that right over there. So here we have Devil Flanders, from one of my favorite Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episodes. Homer, of course, eats the forbidden donut, and a trial of Homer Simpson commences, where Devil Flanders, of course, wants his soul. And I think for the most part, actually, I do think the figure turned out really good. A much more scaled-up version of Devil Flanders than the smaller one that we had seen before. He does wear his glasses. The glasses are only pinned or pegged right on the middle bridge, kind of in between his eyeballs. It's plugged into there. On one side, it sits rather easy on top of his ears. The other side, unfortunately, sits a little more stretched. And I guess you could kind of bring the glasses over a little bit. The peg really doesn't give you any sort of forgiving, extra leeway to work with. I have to kind of just stretch it. Maybe I can see if I can heat it or try to warp it, try to get it back over top of his ear, because, I mean, right now it just sits a little on the loose side. The figure's sculpt is pretty good, looking like he does not only from the cartoon, but of course a Kidrobot stylized version of the character. Complete with horns, complete with tail, complete with actually some pretty nice looking panel lining right above the eyes, the pupils, areas within his mustache, and the actual streaks in his hair are all done quite nicely. And we spin the figure around. Of course, you've got the tail, of course, showcasing that he is the Devil Flanders after all. The tail is pegged into place. Doesn't look like it has any sort of posability. Posability, by the way, on this guy is very limited. It's to be expected if you have collected any of the vinyl figures from Kidrobot. A simple head swivel back and forth, and of course you've got your swivel on the arms back and forth. That's pretty much it. He's got his hooves down below, as he is part somewhat, I guess, goat. And then on the underside you got Kidrobot and Matt Groening, 2017. This is a new released piece that actually just got released just at the cusp of me reviewing the Halloween-related stuff during October, so I didn't get a chance to review him then. Overall, though, I really like the look of the figure, except for the paint in the chest area. It's a little on the sloppy side. Heavily caked, heavily splotched amounts of yellow paint, and it looks like, I guess maybe the the chain that goes across his shirt perhaps was painted after the fact, as the gray has carried itself over into the already somewhat splotchy yellow. It's not the cleanest job right here. It's not nearly as clean as, of course, the hands or the face itself. I guess they tried to save as much paint as possible, because while the top head is yellow, the hands are yellow, the body torso itself looks like it's been cast in probably a red plastic and then painted the brown for his pants. And then, of course, the yellow would be over top of that. They almost should have even painted all, or cast all of it in yellow plastic and then simply just painted the shirt and then the pants over top of it, so that the yellow, as yellow is the trickiest color it seems to paint over top of existing plastics, they could have painted, not painted the yellow and just kept it the same plastic color as the rest of his body. Other than a few little nitpicks with the paint, and of course the fact that he doesn't really quite hold the pitchfork, he is actually a really nice representation of Devil Flanders from Kidrobot. Simpsons Treehouse of Horror is one of my all-time go-to watches for The Simpsons. Even though I don't really watch The Simpsons nowadays, the Treehouse of Horror is still something I go back to and watch even to this day. And to get Kidrobot already releasing the Treehouse of Horror smaller vinyl figures, it's an absolute treat. No trick here. Well, I guess there would be a bit of a trick. The treat here is getting the Devil Flanders here in the larger, medium-sized vinyl figure. I suppose the trick in all of this is, unfortunately, with some poor paint applications on the chest and a pitchfork that otherwise he just can't properly hold, are about the only two nitpicks. That's actually not true. We've got, of course, the glasses as well. So there's about 3 tricks tied into this delicious treat. It's still a great-looking figure, just shy of the fact that the glasses, the pitchfork, and a bit of the paint problems on the chest otherwise make what could have been a perfect figure slightly less perfect. It's still a great looking figure that I will be putting out on Halloween. Of course, I have to wait now a whole year to do that, but he's definitely going to be making the mantle of my Halloween decorations. Today we were having a look at the new Kidrobot Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. This is Devil Flanders medium-sized vinyl figure. I'll also put some information down below, so if you want to head over to Kidrobot and check out some of the other cool collectibles that they have, you could really be surprised to see how many cool collectibles, of course the blind boxes, and medium-sized figures that you see right here that they have available on their website. If you guys also haven't had a chance yet to hit that little subscribe button, shame on you, hit that little subscribe, it's right below this video, and you'll never miss a beat when it comes to future videos. Thanks for watching as you always do, guys. I'll see you next time.